Alright. I don't expect anyone to watch this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and give a tour of this server, because I thought it'd be fun to kind of document the progress me and my friends made in our recent playthrough. So, here we are. I'm using John Smith texture pack for this. That's just what I think half of us played on, so I feel like it's, I don't know, this is like what I built in, at least, so I think it'd be nice to reflect what we saw when we built these things, rather than reflecting in the default texture pack. This time around, we decided to start our base at 0, 0. We're pretty dang close to 0, 0. Just one of those things where we hadn't really done that. Every time we've played, the past few times, we'd go wander off somewhere far and try and find the perfect spot. And you know, this time around, we just were like, you know what, let's just start at 0, 0, and that way we always know, like, where's our base? 0, 0. For the most part, you can see the list on the death leaderboard. About 6 people playing, at most 3 or 4 at the same time. A couple people, 7 people. People will rotate out in frequency and whatnot, but I'm kind of rambling at this point. Just get to it. So, we got this kind of town centerpiece here with our beacon, kind of right on the 0, 0 coordinates here. It's the center of town. That's kind of where we started, and building stuff around it. And I think Buddy Bean was kind of the last one playing on the server for a little bit. Did some decorating, so when I stopped, I hadn't been playing for a little bit. This little gazebo structure is actually kind of new to me, the azalea bushes and whatnot, but yeah, this is kind of where everything started off and where we kind of put our beacon. Makes the most sense. Over here is a town hall that I built. City Hall, Town Hall. This kind of was built a little later, actually, than some other people's like initial houses. I kind of planned on this being like the hub, but I just wanted a lot of like specific resources. Like this is all clay blocks, or not clay blocks. Can't remember what the hardened clay, white hardened clay. But as you saw, I got ladders up to the side here, and then we got like a little bell tower at the top here, which I all just, you know, I kind of made this. There's stuff that I took inspiration from, but I didn't really follow any sort of guide or anything. I just kind of did it. I did this cool little like chandelier out of the lanterns. I thought that turned out pretty cool. A little podium if we were ever to have city hall meetings or whatever. We sleep before it gets too dark. Over here is the server rules. We are older people. Not young. Not like old, but not young either. So it's a little vulgar. So, you know, pause it if you really want to read it. But likewise, I made a enchanting. This is what my second build was. And this was kind of a work in progress over a long period of time. I had the structure down first, and I put in this basement shortly after, because I wanted the nether portals in the basement of this tower. I thought it was kind of cool. So that used to just be a hole. I dug down in there, but eventually kind of added on to it, especially after I got this building built up. This one I did follow a guide, or like a building tutorial. Can't quite remember who was by. I just looked up Wizard Tower or something or another, something along those lines on YouTube and found something. But that being said, the interior is something that I kind of spun up here, as well as I really actually extended onto the building. I think the main building was this diagonal sprout and then tower up. I added onto this building to allow for a little bit more of a storage shop thing to exist inside. It's not perfect. Some spots it seems a little flat, like right here, especially without windows or something. It might feel a little flat, but it was kind of tough. I wanted to cram in a lot of these bookcases. I wanted to make it feel very library-esque. And then I had these barrels down here. There's nothing in that one. These barrels down here is where we ended up storing all of our books, and so I wanted to like label everything, make it cozy but filled, cozy and filled, but also like easy to like move through. And I alphabetized, like I group and sorted a lot of these books myself. I've figured a system, but I kind of grouped things based on what's like a weapon enchantment, what's an armor enchantment, and what's a tool enchantment. And I know mending and unbreaking can be on everything, so I had these kind of in the center, but everything else is like I have all the weapon enchantments over on this side of the second floor, armor enchantments on this side of the second floor, and then all the tool enchantments down on the first floor. As you can see, there's signs up there. Further up, you know, this is kind of my area, but I never really ended up doing anything with this. That was just full of books as I was kind of sorting stuff, but this is going back into like the area that the YouTube video kind of guided on. This whole structure up here, the floors, as you can see, everything's just kind of lit up. It's cool because it gives you a nice kind of view of town up here. A bunch of stuff that we'll get to, we'll talk about. Let's go back down. Down in the basement of the Wizard Tower is one of our first XP farms. Finally get down there. That's an Enderman cart. He happened to get in here. I set this up thinking this might help the spawn rates, because this farm felt a little slow. And I'm not really too sure what is the cause of that, but it just did end up feeling kind of slow. So I ended up putting a minecart trail in there, track or whatever. I don't think it really sped anything up, but I didn't mind enough to like take it down. Because most of the time in this area anyways, I have my game volume kind of muted. So having this cart spin around didn't bug me because I was already turning the volume off for all the skeletons. And over here is just a small little library area for easy access to enchanting, maxed out books, grindstone, and a chest. You can hear some loud skeletons. This up here, this space is just purely decorative. Also kind of wanted to have that cramped bookstore library feel to it. So that's fun. As you can see, the top part of the structure is still undone. I don't know if I'll bother coming around to finish this. This just space isn't used that much, and so I'd be finishing its sake. It's not like I feel like it doesn't. Obviously, it doesn't have anything. It's purely aesthetics, but maybe to finish it, just to finish it. Oh, over here is our first mine shaft that goes all the way down to bedrock. Oh, and in the basement of town as well as the cellar, which is storage. It's not perfectly sorted. It's something that I was kind of just letting expand itself, and we had the server drop storage anyways. I didn't really kind of get around to figuring out how I wanted to sort all of our items. Might be something I come back to, or when I come back, I might end up building an entirely new system anyways, so I'm not too pressed to feel like I have to finish this. This is good. This is good. It did the job. Well enough. I need to turn the music down. It's like loud in my ears. And then eventually in the basement, I like the idea of minecart tracks down to 0, 0. And so that's something I eventually did myself. I mined out this. There we go. I feel like I can hear myself now. I mined out this tunnel. This also goes all the way down to bedrock. You can see in some spots are like a layer above bedrock. And this is just for strip mining, mostly. Runs into a couple of the other tunnels that existed before, but overall, again, not completely finished. Might be something that if I come back, feel compelled enough to do, I'll do it. I don't really think it'd take too much more blocks. Maybe a couple hours to finish the structure design and decorate it and whatnot. But again, I don't feel compelled like it needs to be finished or anything. Over here is my buddy. You can see him. It's Geb on the death board. He's actually the reason that we started the server up. He made a video on Minecraft. He's been making some videos for games, and he finally got around to giving Minecraft a shot. Played a single player world, and then wanted to give multiplayer experience a try. And so we ended up getting the server going to play with him, which was really fun, and the video did pretty well. So comparatively, I think it's one of his best videos for sure so far, and it did pretty well, so happy for him. Over here is another early buildings. Hi, I'm Jet built this like lumber mill kind of thing, with the stone cutter in the inside. Just cool. Got like logs strapped down with the rails and whatnot. Went hunting hard for berry bushes, because even though we started in like a snowy taiga, we really struggled to find berry bushes. Those are kind of crazy. He also ended up building a auto smelter, but this ended up getting redesigned at some point, and it looks like Buddy Bean also eventually added like a roof to this entire area and some sort of fireplace here. So, like, this is again entirely new to me here. A daylight sensor. I'm not too sure what's going on here. Both those lights are on. Maybe Jet finished this too. But yeah, this thing cooks up pretty well. It's not perfect, but it does a great job. It's only 4, so I kind of get backed up. And there's only this one double chest here, so it's something that we have to manage ourselves. Not the end of the world for us personally. I know there's probably better systems that you can, have it all funnel and sort and whatnot. That's just, for the space that we put it in, just not really kind of what we were looking to do. That, you know, does what we need pretty well enough. Over here is Buddy Bean and Coppuss 2010's house. Yeah, I know. Surely they'll make him change his name at some point, but... And Buddy Bean's popped off of his house. She's usually quite the builder and decorator. Not as much as the adventurer, but as you can hear, she also does a lot with the villagers. You can hear them down below. Oh, that's a cool painting. I think she built this in a different texture pack, though, using Sphax, I believe. But I think it still translates super well. It's just like the paintings. The paintings don't... John Smith's painting's a little weird compared to, you know, everything else is. This is an empty room. Don't know what this is planned for. Oh, we got an aquarium over here with some axolotls chilling. And we can see down there kind of a little bit. This is really nice, like this little lounge area, but we can see down there kind of the other half of their house, and it's what we refer to as the brothel, or what's going to be displayed as a brothel. What it really is functionally is our villager trading hub, and this is a bit more of a work in progress because there's a lot of like valuable materials that kind of been going into like building this. So it's definitely been a big work in progress, and on top of that we've had some issues with iron golems because we have something over there funking with the spawns, but as you can see in here, we have villagers and villagers and villagers, and she's been doing all the trading and stuff for that, so. That's just about everything in here. I know there's a couple things around this house. I know over here is a big sugarcane farm that Buddy Bean and Frick built. And as you can see, this backside, the top side's pretty well disguised, but this backside is quite bare. You can just see it's basically chambers like this with detectors and whatnot. Picking up into a minecart or picked up, dispensing, hoppering, filtering into a minecart, and then that minecart then picks it up and drops it off. Simon, get down. Get down. Bad cat. No. Naughty. Sorry, cat just got on my desk. Okay, and then one last thing around this house is back here we have an iron golem farm. It is not fancy by any means. It is bare bones, but it does the job. And it's a space that's usually kind of has people around it, so it's, you know, doing its thing. Up here is an incomplete build. Jet was building like a steampunky clock tower. And the issue is we just need a lot of copper. And at the time, we did not have a lot of copper. And we still don't really have, it takes a lot to make the copper blocks, and we're just kind of, we're not mining as much of that stuff anymore. Over here's a new space to me. I think looks like Buddy Bean did a lot of decorating and adding some greenery and foliage around these back sides of the city hall. This nice little gazebo area. Snow plops on that spot though. slash also bamboo farm. Looks like just a reliable spot to grab some bamboo. Looks like this leads to the back side, but I'll go back around. There's also a well up here too, but I'm also missing some stuff. There's some more stuff over there. Oh, some more stuff over this way. So I'll go over this way. So over here is the like cherry blossom and bee zone. There's like a word for that, like a arboretum, something like that. I'd look it up at this point if I was in the middle of just kind of recording. I think arboretum is close. Arboreum? I don't know. I'm not gonna stress about it too much. Someone can correct me. But yeah, and then also just like a bunch of the cherry blossom trees because that's pretty new, and she's a big fan of that. Over here, Fricot Puss made a very cool berry farm, sweet berry bush farm for us. And so, you know, it's not perfect, but it does work pretty well. With the water going into the hoppers, you can probably hear mine carts going around picking that stuff up, but you can see like the mine carts just running over the track there and loading this thing up. But I think it's really cool kind of aesthetically for like a medievalish kind of theme of the village so far. It feels a bit like a vineyard or something. It was really cool. Over here's what I call Beefy Boys, and this is something I also found on YouTube. It's some sort of aesthetic farm guide, but yeah, as you can see, we got some cows in here. Well, there's a cow right there too. But and a little cow cooker with some butcher traders as well. I'll just go ahead and let that cow be. Everything gets picked up outside, and then you come up top here, and this is where you end up feeding the cows. And all the young will drop down into the cooker, grow up, and then you press the button to cook them. We did play this around a holiday time. We did use a little bit of cheating to make this happen. There's like invisible item frames that we wanted, kind of uses like ornaments or tinsel or whatever. So it's not the end of the world. If you think us cheating over that, you're just bah humbug. Be festive. Over here is one of the tedious projects I did. This is a bunch of villager farms, which I found somewhere on, I feel like this is a pretty common guide on YouTube, or pretty common concept. You know, these villagers tend the farms, try to trade it to this guy, but we have carts to kind of intercept that trading. The issue is the, like, underneath bits of this is not finished, and I'll show you that in a bit here. But there's 8 farms per like item, so like 8 wheat farms and 8 beet farms and 8 potatoes and 8 carrots. So it gets a really good amount. This is kind of one of the last builds that I was working on. This is kind of like just like a farmhouse kind of feel to it. Which I was just going to put some animals in here. I wasn't going to build like animal farms, at least maybe not at the moment. I might come back to that and add some, but what I was mainly working on here is I wanted some sort of like barn building to have a collection point for all of like the villager stuff. And as you can see, I'm in the left off building like this big, like there's an item sorter here. Um, and I had a couple different ideas working on how I was going to execute this, and you can kind of see me in the middle of a couple of these ideas. And I was thinking, oh, I'll just have minecarts kind of similar to the other setups to run things around. But then I was like, I want to try something else to make it not as noisy. And then I was thinking of running hoppers over, like filtering here. But then I was like, oh, I want the pickup to be in this structure. So then I was like, okay, well now I have to figure out how I want to set this up. And this is kind of where I left off here, where I'm setting up the filters here. And I imagine I'm going to probably set up some, or what I was thinking I was going to set up some sort of water system to run over these filters to like a dispenser that pushes the items out. And then it like runs through that water conveyor and then gets picked up by the hoppers. I think the only like worry with that system is like eventually if like things get super backed up and clogged, if I don't have a like overflow chest that like dispenses into lava, then that could be a pretty bad source of lag. Let me run over to bed here real quick, make a dig, and thanks for bearing with me too. I don't plan on really kind of like editing this video. I'm just gonna put it up because again, I don't really expect anyone to watch this. This is kind of just a little bit more for like myself and my friends, kind of reflect on, kind of see where we left off with the server, because most of us kind of dwindled down and started playing other games again. I imagine we'll kind of come back to this at some point, but over here is for Cotpus's magnum opus. Again, this looks a little more decorated since the last time I saw it. You can hear this is a nice entrance. This is a museum, and there's been a bit of a running joke. Every time he plays Minecraft, he built one of these, and you know, we did pretty good this Minecraft server, and you know, we made a lot of progress, we got a lot of materials, and so he thought, well, better than just freaking one, but freaking all. And so inside this museum is all the sheeps, all different colors of the sheeps. Yep. And funny enough, I know he actually caught a little bit of flack on that. It's Geb's video, which was funny. If you think he's like doing this, it's like serious. It's a joke. It's not supposed to be like anything serious. He doesn't actually want to frick shoot. But yeah, a little bit of a flashbang warning there too. And then over here, you have, I think he's making a gift shop in here. But again, work in progress, so it'll probably be something that happens later. One thing that I walked past that was in the middle of being built is some sort of museum as well. I think Geb was working on this. And I think I don't remember exactly what we're going to put on display here. Something was. Might have been like maybe some other mobs, the Ender Dragon egg, stuff like that. And then over here is what we called Johio. And as you may see, it is a maxed sized nether portal, along with an Among Us character right next to it. And I built this little ice farm because we need to start farming out ice a little bit for the nethers, for like nether highways and stuff. And this is just really, you run back, you run down, yada 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 yada, and then it all refills back up here. So it's pretty nice. But again, one of the last couple things I did on this server since we kind of dwindled down our play. I am going to get through the Johio portal because they are really close to one another, and I just don't think there's much point in walking all the way back over there. Let's see, it's like a stone's throw in here. Our nether base is not really anything special. I did this structure, I did this with the portals. I think that looks fancy. I like doing that. But really this is just a structure to keep ghasts out. Down there is just some stuff for netherrack mining. And really there's only one big thing in our nether at this time. For the most part, it's just tunnels leading to portals around the map. But really it's just, we got a blaze farm that we set up, and it's a little bit of a walk. Let me try and speed this up. Slam my skull on the roof here. There we go. So yeah, this is our blaze farm. We got a sword here. Chanting setup. Under chest. All the jazz. Blazes do come down here. But I think my storage is getting full, so I kind of just want to wrap it up. The nether really doesn't have anything in it. Or not the nether, sorry. The end. Our end setup. We haven't got to building like a Enderman farm or anything yet. So I'm going to kind of save us some time there and skip doing that.